we're just going to have a look at some fundamental principles, and we're just going to watch this laser tack to talk through good technique to get us through attacking light winds without losing speed and making good progress towards the wind. We're just going to go through step by step. And the first point is that before we go through the tack, we're only going to do a little bit of leeward heel. Quite often you'll see lots of leeward heel by people at this point because that helps them get a lot of roll on. The problem is if you do a lot of leeward heel, you do a lot of turning very fast. So you're missing that opportunity to coast up towards the wind or towards the mark. And as you'll see here, just a slight bit of leeward heel and a slight bit of tiller is just helping us coast upwind for as long as possible. Obviously, you'll reach the point that you're going to have to do something, and that is when the luff flaps. So the next point here is the sail luff starts to flap, and that's your cue to aggressively throw your weight out to ensure you do roll the boat, which happens here. So the main sheet there is super tight, and that's just so the sailor has got something to use as a bit of a lever while he throws his weight out. So holding onto the main sheet helps keep you in the boat whilst throwing your weight out, if that makes sense. At this point now, you should have the boat heeled over more than enough to make sure that when you switch sides, you can roll the boat flat and squirt it forwards. If anything, we may have overcooked it just a little bit here, but it gives you a nice angle to then throw your weight up and out and aggressively roll the boat flat. Throughout all of this, there is going to be some main sheet management needed depending on how your tack's gone. You'll end up needing to sheet back in a little bit because you've eased a bit as you go through, and then switch hands. We're going to watch just once more to recap and talk about a common mistake at the end. So going upwind, slight leeward heel, slight steering, luff starts to flap, weight out, use the main sheet if you need to. Boat's heeled over nicely so you can switch sides quick, and aggressively roll the boat flat, trim the sheet as needed, but you're going to need to be pulling it back in on the exit at some point. So the last thing to note is that these tacks obviously vary a little bit depending on the boat and the weight of the boat, and vary a little bit depending on the conditions. You know, light winds is 1 knot, it's also 5 knots, 6 knots maybe. So you do have to be a little bit adaptable in your technique. And one of the common mistakes is when you roll the boat flat at the end, when learning to be aggressive with your body weight, quite often you'll find it's easy to roll the mast past its upright position. You see here the sailor's brought his weight back in really fast after rolling it flat. That just stops the mast from going past upright at the end. And that's an important piece to remember, just so you don't go through all the hard work of getting through a really nice tack and then accidentally overdo it at the end and stall out.